Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Daniel Vincent from Enhanced Primary Care, and I've invited Christian along to have a chat with us because I used to work with Christian when I was practice manager. He was in the neighbouring locality and actually got to meet him again at Best Practice back in October, which is really lovely to see people that you know from that kind of former life. And actually, Kristen, you had some really great news to share with me. You'd managed to save your practice some money, which, given the current financial climate out there, is quite the achievement. And so I asked you if you would kindly come and share your story with us today. And thank you very much for accepting. So over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for the invite. And yeah, we are always keen to find ways to either save money or to generate more income streams. And especially in the current climate, with ever swindling financial support for primary care, that's really key. So yeah, I don't quite know how we came up, but I think it was something silly like our energy renewal utilities were due for renewal, and we looked at the new prices with the increase in energy costs and thought, why are we paying that much? Why can we find a way of reducing the kilowatt hour price? And on the back of that, so I work as a GP in Taunton. I'm also clinical director in Taunton for one of the PCNs. And so I floated this idea past our PCN, and we generated basically an energy buying syndicate or energy buying group. So we combined the buying power through from different GP surgeries, and what started with 2 PCNs, it was I think 8 practices started at the beginning, just grew and grew and grew. And we thought just of the healthcare sector, so we invited nursing homes. We've now got a private hospital being part of that. And then we got to a stage and said, well, why don't we open it up? Our heart and our focus is always on the healthcare sector, but we've now got accountants, we've got different businesses. So from accountants to a community charity to a farmer is looking at the moment at some energy costings. And that has been really a snowball effect because it saves. I tend to be a bit more cautious quoting between 20 and 40% in energy costs, but I think the last average I've had just before Christmas was about 28%. So significant savings.
Fantastic. And what did that mean for your practice and your PCN when you were engaged into this?
So when we first started the first phase, if you like, of the 8 practices, the 5 practices, I can only talk about my PCN, but the 5 practices saved enough money to fund another pharmacist for our PCN per year. Wow. That is per year. So significant cost savings across the 5, and we are not a large PCN.
And were you expecting that kind of level of saving when you first entered into this?
No. I mean, we are always very cautious in primary care. Yeah. So no, I didn't expect. I expected some savings, but it has been a lot higher. And what became quite apparent is that the more teams, the more businesses join, the cheaper it gets for everyone involved. So it's actually a win for everyone involved.
Yeah, I guess that was the bit that sort of really interested me. We share that value around making primary care as sustainable as possible. And actually, I'd heard of buying groups where you enter into a contract with a group of people, but actually this allows anybody from any business to enter into this buying group, and then collectively the more you're buying, the more you're saving.
Absolutely. It doesn't cost anything either. So there's no some buying groups, sometimes you have to pay a subscription. That's not for us. So there's no cost to that. The other interesting bit for us in the healthcare sectors, it can also cover, for example, the environmentalist sustainability box for CQC. So we've got different packages for different percentage of renewable energy, but that's quite interesting. And I'm always very keen to simplify matters. So one of the steps that I was quite clear on when we set it up is that it needs to be a very simple process. So practice management, or whoever is in charge of the utility renewal, needs to have a very straightforward, very simple process to go through with one point of contact, not 15 different ones. So that is quite key as well.
Yeah, and I've been working on that with you to kind of go, who is the person who's going to support practices who are interested, and that's Alex, isn't he? Unfortunately, he wasn't able to join us today, but Alex will be the point of contact for the practice. When practices express an interest, he will get back to them, likes to have a chat on the phone just to make sure that this is the right thing for them, and then needs, I think, a letter of authority and some copy bills. And then he goes away out to market and finds the deal that's available. And as you said, there's a few kind of options that practices can express around that. And then when the deal is on the table, I've got 24 hours, I understand, to accept that deal. So it's important that, you know, everybody who wants to be part of that decision-making process, we know the wonders of the partnership in primary care, is already lined up on board, so that when that offer comes through, then the practice is able to accept it, because the prices do vary every time Alex goes out to market.
No, absolutely, that's right. The one other thing to remember is that it doesn't matter if you're still tied into a contract either. I was a bit surprised about this myself, but you can, even if you're still tied in for 12 or 24 months, you can already fix the rates now and join. That's one thing. And the other,
so you can prepare for that time when you are going to come off the end of your existing energy bills.
Exactly, and you know exactly your projections, your forecasting, you know exactly what will happen.
And that's what we were saying. Enhanced primary care is going to be key for 2024. Is, you know, practices really running their practice as a business, because everything is getting so tight now. So to be able to accurately forecast, you know, energy costs over the next couple of years, even if you're with a supplier at the moment. I know people have done this kind of thing before, and there was a bit of price hiking through that kind of long-term engagement. So I know some practices are sat with really high bills at the moment, but it must be quite a relief knowing that you're going to come off the end of that onto a better rate. One other concern of thinking about sustainability, or there's two more points. One is that there's also an option of looking at your usage. Where do you use? Where can you save? So usage saving. An example is the private hospitals. They are saving the same amount of costs by just saving costs, turning certain machines off, than they're actually saving through the reduction in kilowatt hour, pence per kilowatt hour. That's one thing. And then the other thing escaped me. What I was going to say is, we'll come back to me in a minute. So actually that opportunity to really think about energy usage as well as the price through you know, this kind of exercise. Brilliant. So if people want to take some action, what we've done is we've set up a little form that they can fill in. QR code should be showing on the screen now. So give that QR code a scan. And if you want to, you can go across to that web address. We will put a link in the comments underneath this video. That's going to send an email across to Alex, Christian, and myself. And Alex will then get in touch with you. He aims to do that within about 48 hours. There is a phone number box on this form. If you could provide your direct dial number, or indeed even your mobile number, that would greatly appreciated. The queue can be a bit of a challenge for Alex, so DDIs would be appreciated. If not, then he'll send you an email to arrange a call. Like I say, just likes to have a chat to make sure it's the right thing before he gets you going. So anything else you wanted to add at this stage, Christian?
Just to ensure that to keep it under one umbrella, to benefit from this rebate or discount, whatever you want to call it, and it's important to keep it under that one umbrella. So it's a win-win for everybody. The more join, the cheaper it will get for everyone. That's
yeah, and by coming through this form, we
Yeah.
keep everything in one place and make sure that everybody goes into the same buying group, because you could start your own buying group, but then you're going to be starting from scratch rather than bringing the value into the bigger group. So yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much. Anything else, Christian?
I think that's it. One last reassurance. Some energy providers went bankrupt not long ago. Again, that's another strong advantage of being a bigger kind of syndicate. So we go to big suppliers. So the risk is also quite small for anything like that happening. But that would be a nightmare, creating more work than it's worth.
Yeah, well, and exactly, primary care do not need any more work than they already have, do they? So the buying group would help resolve any challenge there.
Great.
Brilliant. So if you want to find out more, give that QR code a scan, or indeed head over to the web link and we will pop the link into the comments. So thank you very much for your time today, Christian. I know you're in practice, so it's much appreciated taking the time out.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you.